Good morning. Welcome to the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, reaching you from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Ade Sowasui. Before I progress with the show, I'll bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa, and after that is straight into the talk for today. You're still watching the conversation here on TOS Television Network. As I always say, you should join the conversation across our social media platforms. Just follow TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That's TOS TV Network. And stream our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, for news, stories, and happenings from across the world. Now, moving straight into the conversation for today. Yesterday, the federal government said it will be giving 20 billion naira monthly to 2 million Nigerians. That's 10,000 naira each, starting June 2022, as some sort of poverty alleviation scheme. And that's what we're going to be looking at in the conversation today. How feasible is that? And to help me or join me in having a conversation here in the studio is Dapo Banjo. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Deswa.
Okay, let's move straight into it. So 20 billion naira monthly, that would be roughly 200 billion naira before we get to another new administration, if they want to continue with that project or not. How feasible, looking at the state of Nigeria at this point, how feasible do you think it is to spend that much money, and how sustainable it is? 200 billion naira in 10 months.
All right. Thank you very much, Adesua. I think Nigerians need to know that this particular scheme or program, as it were, is not new. This started since 2016.
Yeah.
It's becoming popular now because maybe government is claiming to be more broke than ever before. And so what government has done so far is that they have a program called the National Social Safety Net Program.
Yeah.
And now that program kicked off. It started actively last year. And so the capture is actually 10 billion for 1 million. Yeah. So they are doing 20 billion for 2 million poor of the poor Nigerians. Now, this program is actually aimed at lifting out of poverty the vulnerable Nigerians, the very poor, very, very poor Nigerian people who are living in extreme poverty in Nigeria. So that's what the program is supposed to capture. Now, let me quickly also say that the World Bank is actually in partnership with Nigeria on this program. So it's not just strictly a Nigerian thing, because a lot of people keep wondering, where is the federal government getting the money? Yes. Now, World Bank is actually in partnership with Nigeria to ensure that this program succeed, because they are more interested in the Millennium Goals, ensuring that people who are living in extreme poverty are actually lifted. So Nigeria and the federal government, led by General Muhammadu Buhari, has said over a long period of time, since 2016, that his administration will lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, not out of extreme poverty. So what we have today is that the program has captured a safety net. The safety net has about 30 million Nigerians already captured. And don't forget that IMF already partnered with the federal government, and so federal government have 500 million US dollars that they are using for this particular program.
But $500 million does not equate 20 billion naira or 200 billion naira in the time that I'm looking to capture. And you mentioned earlier that the program has been on since 2016. And going by the World Bank Index, we still have stagnation. You know, when it comes to the poverty level that Nigerians are facing,
Poverty index,
it's supposed to hit 95.1 million this year. So going by that, I would say that that program, 10 billion Naira monthly, has not been effective. So how do you think that 20 billion Naira monthly would make any difference or be effective in this regard?
Okay, don't forget, we already established the fact that it is people who are living in extreme poverty. Now, 30 million has been able to make what we call the social safety register. Now, that register was compiled by the federal government in conjunction with the state government, and got the state government working also with the local government. And so the list that they have, which I think about 30.1 million people, and this include people living in communities and people who actually are living in extreme poverty. So families and households that have been identified to be living in extreme poverty are the ones that are being focused on. Now, the point here is that the federal government, it seems to have a good intention. In addition to the $500 million that the IMF the World Bank has made available to federal government, federal government is also using or diverted the supposed and claimed repatriated money that was taken back from outside the country, which former leader and military leader, late Sani Abacha. So about 322 million US dollars that the federal government has also repatriated is also pushed into this particular program. And so I think money is not the problem. I think the number of people that this program is catering to, it should be the focus. Now, 5,000 Naira is what they give them every month.
10,000.
As a matter of fact, it's 10,000 in 2 months. It's supposed to be 5,000 Naira every month, but for logistics reasons, the federal government has not been able to sustain the 5,000 Naira monthly, so they pay 10,000 Naira every 2 months. And so it's still 5,000 Naira monthly, but they just pay the 10,000 Naira so that at least the value when they are receiving it, it's a bit substantial. So families have been able to enroll their children back in school. They've been able to pay for school uniforms. They've been able to pay school fees. And so those are the people this program is actually focused at. And now, majorly, people are wondering how the federal government is actually sustaining this program. The sustenance of it is getting the money. They have the World Bank assistance fee or money that have been given to them. They also have some extras, which is part of what they got back from the looted fund of the late military leader, Sani Abacha. So the money is actually captured. And the people, for me, I think federal government started last year actively to start paying the money out, and they've sustained it. So for them to say 10 billion to 1 million, and they are starting it out, the program is improved. Now it's 20 billion for 2 million. Okay, so that's to tell you that if it failed and they couldn't sustain it last year, they probably would have done 5 billion, maybe to 500,000 people.
So you're saying that it's very feasible and sustainable. Looking at another factor being that Nigeria is one of the most corrupt African countries that we can talk about today, and this is money we're talking about, money that might not even be, you might not be able to trace it, because this is money that would be supposedly handed to people directly. Do you think that it is feasible, or it will get the desired result or the effect that the government? You did say the government has a good intention, but do you think that we will get to see the effect and the result of that? Looking at the corruption index of Nigeria. Now,
there's a particular group or a ministry or an agency of government that is responsible. It is called the Office of the Cash Transfer. What they basically do is that these monies have been made available to them. So there's a process to ensure that the names of the people that are in the register are adequately and efficiently and effectively reached when they are supposed to be paid. Now, I haven't talked about corruption, which is really very key. I think one major negative part of this program is that it's not very popular. It's not popular to you and me and to a lot of Nigerians because we probably don't live at that level where we can be captured in the safety net as living in extreme poverty. And so because it's not reaching you or reaching me, it's not an indication that the program is actually not working. Now, number two, very important reason to note is that the federal government also have failed to realize that the global economy have the potential, the tendencies to affect, to dip more people into the poverty line every month or every day, because the global economy is not even favoring the program.
Yes.
Every time people who have been captured, you mentioned a report that that was in the public space recently about 95.1 million Nigerians going into the poverty line.
Yeah.
Now, by that time, the number may not even match the number of people that will be captured. Maybe 150 million Nigerians will find themselves there. Maybe 120 million Nigerians will find themselves there. Now, 95.1 is just a projection, but people keep losing their jobs. They can't do business. A lot of things is actually affecting the standard of living and the cost of living of Nigerians. So all the figures that we have in the public space today are just projections.
Yeah.
It doesn't reflect the reality of the program. But truth be told is the fact that the All Progressive Congress, which is a ruling party, have good intentions. But most times their optics, the way they look at things is just not the way it is. And so most of the time their programs are really very they're people-based and it's people-focused. But the truth is that we have a totally wrong estimate of what exactly is going on in the lives of people in Nigerians. And then we mistake the fact that when people look good and they come out every day, that they look okay or they are all right and should not be captured in the supposed social safety net program. Because a lot of people Nigerians are really poor.
Yeah.
And the situation is really very bad.
Yeah.
And so the government should look at this program again and being able to say, okay, if it is 500,000 people that we can effectively take out of extreme poverty, then we will know that we affected only 500,000 people. But to say 1 million, to say 2 million, and then at the end of the day, we can't see that reflection in the life of Nigerians, especially those of us who live in similar communities, and we can identify with the people who are really the poor of the poor. You see, the poor who are poor also still call them poor, and they are all in our community. So most times the government do not go down. The beauty of it is that federal government is working with state government. State government also reports back to the federal government. So it's like a circle, state to government, federal to state government, and then state government to local government. And then I believe that the plus for this program should be that the local governments are the ones really paying out. That you really don't have enough. You can put system in place to ensure that people are reached. The people who are in the register gets paid every month. So the office that is responsible for the payment should work directly with the local government. Don't go through the state government anymore. I think you should go direct to the local government who are actually dealing with those people in those various communities and ensuring that their lives are better for the benefits of this program.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with me on the conversation this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining me on the conversation this morning. Don't forget that I'll be back here same time tomorrow. So you should be a part of the conversation. Just follow us across all social media platforms. It's TOSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The channel to subscribe to on YouTube is TOSTV Network. And of course, stream our website, www.tostvnetwork.com for news, stories and happenings from across the world. Thank you again. My name is Ade, so I'll see you. Join me again tomorrow.